anyone who is running a business, or if you are a part of a business, or you are even considering, or you're thinking about or considering starting a business, understand that these three roles that I'm going to explain here today, they must be fulfilled and they must be fulfilled in every business, as no business can succeed without someone in each of these roles. These are not optional, these are requirements. As a matter of fact, again, no business can even make money if you do not have these three roles filled, even if they're all being filled by the same person, or you got a person doing more than one, or if you have 100 people in each one. There must be at least someone in every one of these roles if a business is to be successful. As I said, these are not options, these are requirements. You ready to know what they are? Great, let's get into it. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, three roles that must be filled in every business. Number one is a marketer. Every business must have at least one person doing the marketing. What is the job of the marketer? Marketer's job is to build and cultivate relationships with the general public, and more specifically with your potential customers and clients, and even more specifically with your actual customers and clients. And the marketer's job is all three of those. All three of these. Should I tell you what they are again? Build and cultivate relationships with the general public. Those are people who may not know that you exist, but might want to know more once they find out that you exist. Then your potential customers and clients, those who have found out about you and they are intrigued, possibly interested, or maybe even more than that. And then people who are already your customers and clients, meaning they've already given you money, and hopefully they are going to be willing and able to give you more money in the future. Your marketer's job is to keep communicating with these people to maintain and continue building and leveraging that relationship. That is the job of the marketer. Marketing is really about the relationship and about the communication, because communication is how relationships get built or destroyed. So as a marketer, your job is the constant communication with the people who are, would, will, or could give you money. Any business must do a whole lot of this. Apple has had, I was looking at Google Maps at basically the Google Maps version of the Wayback Machine, or the Wayback Machine version of Google Maps. If you're looking at anything on Google Maps and you take it to Street View, to where you can see what's actually on the street in that place, you can click on, there's a little button there when you're looking at the location that says see previous versions. You can go back multiple years for as long as Google has been tracking that area. And I was looking right across the street from where I live, there's a billboard that Apple has always advertised the iPhone. They've been advertising the iPhone on this, or advertising the Apple product on this billboard for years. And I went back when I was looking at something else, but I was on this particular street and I saw it. And I took it all the way back to 2008. And back in 2008, guess what? Apple was controlling this billboard, and they were advertising, in the picture from 2008, they were advertising the iPhone 5C. As of this recording, and I'm recording right now today, they're advertising the iPhone 16. All right, that's how long they've been controlling this billboard. I'm telling you all that to tell you this: that billboard space is not cheap. That billboard space is probably 5 figures per month for Apple to have control of it. They changed the image on the billboard about once every 6 weeks. I've watched them change it. I have video I posted on my Instagram story showing you them changing the billboards. And Apple continues to pay money to advertise in that space. Again, it's not cheap. And why do they do this? Apple is a very well-known company. Many of you have a bunch of Apple products. Many of you are not leaving Apple. You're going to keep using Apple products and keep buying Apple stuff, whether they advertised or not. Why does Apple keep advertising? Because Apple understands that marketing is the lifeblood of business. They must keep reminding you and reminding you and reminding you that you should, could, would, have, or will give them money. And if they stop reminding you, you will stop giving them money. Even though maybe you personally, whether you see the ad or not, you will probably still swap your current phone for the next iPhone when you're ready, whether you saw an Apple ad ever again or not. Most people are not like that, and you probably are not like that either. If Apple stopped advertising to you, you would soon be intrigued by someone other than Apple who was advertising to you with a phone that looked like it might be an upgrade over what you have, and you might eventually switch. This is what happens when people stop marketing to their customers. The customers still spend money. They just spend money with somebody else. They forgot about spending money with you because you didn't do your job of reminding them that that's what they're supposed to be doing. See how that works? See, this is why marketing is the biggest job you have in business. Marketing is ongoing. And again, it's about maintaining and nurturing relationships so people can make a decision to buy from you, or keep buying from you, or even come back to buying from you, or maybe stop buying from someone else and start buying from you. Maybe you move them away from where they were to where you are. Marketing is not a one-time thing, folks. And it is not done just to people who are on the outside of your world and thinking about coming in. You also must continually market to people on the inside. I just explained to you Apple. I have an Apple phone. I got Apple headphones, earbuds. I got Apple tablet. I have an Apple computer. Even got an old Apple phone that I use for recording. I got a whole bunch of Apple products. Yet Apple still must continue to market to me, because that just because I bought from them in the past and have bought from them in the present does not guarantee that I'm going to continue buying from them in the future, because there are competitors who want to get the same money that I'm currently giving to Apple, and they want me to divert that money and give it to them. And if Apple stops marketing to me, I might actually do it. So Apple understands this, and this is why they keep marketing. And I'm giving you all a hint here. If you're not catching it, take Apple's name out of this. That's what you need to be doing. All right, you need to be continually marketing just to make sure people who are already in stay in, and people who are on the outside might come in. And people who are in between, they will take the next step forward. But they're thinking about it. They just need you to push them in, get them to come in the way that they have already been thinking about coming in. So again, this company spends millions of dollars to get people remembering or knowing about the iPhone, and to remind those you already got one, hey, you just got to get the next one. You got the iPhone 15, time to get the 16. You got the iPhone 35, time to get the iPhone 36. All right. And again, they market internally just as much as they market externally. And in case you didn't know, a customer buying the second time is more valuable than the customer buying the first time, because customer buying the second time, you didn't have to spend any money to get their attention. You already have it. Person buying the first time, you got to spend a lot of money just to get them to notice you in the first place. We call this the second dollar. Second dollar is one of the most valuable dollars you can get in business. First dollar is very valuable. Second dollar is is close, not just as valuable, but close. Why? Because that second dollar is money spent by a person who's already experienced you, clearly is satisfied to the point that they would spend another dollar. You want the second dollar. And that also means you're getting people to buy more than once, which is starting to build a habit when they're doing something more than once. Anybody can buy from someone one time. Can you get them to buy from you 2, 3, 10 times? That's the real challenge. And again, the more often someone does anything, the more they are building it into a habit that they will keep doing eventually unconsciously. They don't even have to think about it. They just know they're going to give you money. That's the position you want to be in. In other words, as I said, the second dollar could become, in some ways, more valuable than the first dollar, which is why you must market to people who are already in your world, and not expect that they will continue buying just because they did yesterday. Now, remember that your competitors are marketing to them too. So just because you aren't marketing to them doesn't mean nobody is marketing to them. Don't get lazy. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is the 3 roles that must be filled in every business. Number 2 is the interface/communications role. Now, marketing is part of this interface/communications role. And so sometimes you can have one person doing both of these roles, but these are 2 different roles. One person might just have 2 jobs. This also applies, when I say interface and communication, also applies to how you deal with your prospects, how you deal with the general public, and just your everyday engagement with people when representing your business. For example, there's a tailor down here in Miami that I recently sent a suit jacket to this tailor to get a couple things fixed on my jacket, a couple alterations made on it. Now, this woman, she appears to be, I know her name, I'm thinking of it right now. I'm not going to say her name, I'm not going to diss her, but she appears to be a bit of a recluse, a little bit socially awkward. I would not score her high on any personality test personally. Now, maybe I just don't know her well enough, or maybe she's just that way when I come around, but I've been to her shop a couple times, and she just seems a bit of a recluse, bit of a person who doesn't interact with too many different people of different backgrounds, et cetera, et cetera. She just seems a little bit, so just slightly socially awkward, maybe more than slightly. And that's the best I can say about her on a personality level. Now, at what she actually does, the actual work that she does, she's pretty good. All right. Again, I bought from her more than once. So the second dollar, she's pretty good at what she does. I can tell by the clientele that she has. And I've seen some of her clientele lists. These are well-known, famous people that are her clientele. So I know she's good at what she does. Obviously, very good at the job. And if she had asked me, she didn't ask me, so I have not offered this to her. But if she were to ask me, I would suggest that she get someone other than herself to be doing most of the interfacing in her business with the customers, because I reached out to her a couple times. The couple times I've spent money with her, I've reached out and had engagements with her, and her, again, just her interpersonal skills are just not there. She needs someone who is much more congenial, much more friendly, much more what's the word, extroverted, and who just likes talking to people, because that'll probably help her do more business. She seems to be doing pretty good in business already, but I think she could do even better if she had someone who was much more of a people person representing her company as the front facing individual. It should not be her. Now, again, I don't know. I have not had that much interaction with her. Maybe she's just like that when I walk in the room. But I would guess that she has probably lost some money from her business and never got it in the first place, simply because she's not a very good communicator. Again, as I said, she's not the most congenial individual. And when you reach out to the company, she will do text messages with you. And the challenging part about a text message is it's hard to get personality across, but it can be done if you know how to do it. She doesn't know how to do it. And I don't think she even cares to learn how to do it, which, again, I'm the type of person who can look past this stuff and still get done what I need to get done. But there are other people who won't look past this stuff. They'll look at the exchange and text messages with her and be like, this woman just doesn't feel right. She doesn't sound right. She doesn't seem even that interested in my business. No, let me go somewhere else. And they do go other places. I guarantee you this happens to this woman's business. And I am theorizing that she doesn't even realize this, or either doesn't realize it or doesn't believe there's anything she can do about it. I do think she would care if she knew about it, but I don't think she realizes it, and or she doesn't know that there's some adjustment that can be made. So if she's listening, yes, it's you that I'm talking about. So anyway, now I can see past this stuff. A lot of people can't, and they won't. And again, this woman has not asked me for advice, so I've not offered it to her. So I'm venting what I would say to her. I'm saying it to all of you so you can understand. She should get someone who's a lot more friendly and more personable to do all her talking to customers, and she shouldn't do any. She should just do the thing that she does, what she is very good at. But talking to people ain't that thing. That ain't the job. She'll probably do some significantly more business if she did this. But since she hasn't asked me, I'll keep my opinion to myself and or share it with my audience in the form of content, as I'm doing right now. Point number 3. So this actually, let me tell you a little bit more on the second point. The interfacing, dealing with your customers, is the person who is taking the incoming phone calls, the person who is responding to the emails and the text messages, the person who, if you have a storefront and someone actually gets to speak to your customers, this is the person who you want speaking to the customer. I've worked in gyms, and I know for a fact that a gym, usually, they don't always do this successfully, and it may be a dying habit, but back in the day, let's say, gyms would usually put a friendly, smiling person who loved talking to people at the front desk. Why? Because that front desk person is the first impression that a customer or client or prospect is getting of walking into your business. So you want to give them a solid first impression. So you put a friendly person who likes talking to people at the front desk. Now, the gyms that I've gone in these days, a lot of times the person sitting at the front desk is the exact opposite of this. It's some person who barely even makes eye contact with the people who walk in, barely say hello to you because they're looking at their phone and don't even notice that you even walked in. I mean, you walk by and it's almost like there's no human there. That's the way people behave these days. But in places where it matters a lot more, gym may not be the best example. A place where it matters a lot, let's say a private hospital, a dentist's office, a high-end hotel or restaurant, that first person you come across, it matters a ton. So the hostess at a high-end restaurant, the front desk people or concierge or the bellman at a nice hotel, these things matter, and they strategically put a certain type of personality in that position because that person is the first impression. Remember, I went to a private hospital once to visit somebody, and when I went to the front desk, the woman at the front desk had one of those little I don't even know what they call it, like the little triangle shaped thing that goes in front of her on the desk that basically tells you her job title or her name. And what it said on there was manager of first impressions, was exactly what she was. That's the manager of first impressions. In your business, someone needs to play the role of manager of first impressions. If it is you, I suggest you check your attitude when you are dealing with your prospects and customers, because it plays a role in how the rest of the engagement goes, or if the rest of the engagement even happens, based on how that first interaction goes. Remember, I went to a podiatrist a few years ago, and the front desk person at the podiatrist's office, she was just very not personable. And you could even say borderline rude. And I remember I told the doctor this. I said, that woman who's at your front desk, and she's the first person I talk to when I walk in here, she should not be your front line person. The doctor was a black guy, so I could level with him and explain this to him. I said, it's not that she's bad, but she ain't good. She shouldn't be the first person people see when they walk in here, because she's going to cost you business. And I think he was listening to me. I don't know if he did anything about it, but I think he did get my point. And it's the same point that I want to make to you all. Be careful who's making the first impression on your customers in your business. And if it's you, work on your personality. All right, do not be turning people off before they even get a chance to know what you're offering. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is the 3 major roles that need to be filled in every business. Number 3, the salesperson / rainmaker. This is the person who makes the money come in. All right, that's what this person is. Now, I'm mentioning this one last, but when you're running a business, this person usually will come first. Now, I told you the marketer is the most important person because marketing actually makes sales happen. Because if you're not doing any marketing, then it doesn't matter that you have a great salesperson because they can't sell anything because there's no one to sell to. So marketing actually comes before the sales. But once everything is in place, you could say that sales is the most important, but I'm going to stick to marketing. I'm going to stick to marketing being the most important one because if you don't do any marketing, as I just said, then there won't be anybody to sell to. So it doesn't matter that you're a good salesperson. You ain't got no prospects to talk to. So you need prospects. Marketing does it. And if your marketing is done really well, your salesperson doesn't even have to be that good. Any of you ever worked somewhere and the salesperson, or any of you ever worked in a sales job where the product was so good that you, even though you're a good salesperson, you had some coworkers who weren't even that good, but they were making money? I remember I was working at a gym once, Philadelphia Sports Club in Philadelphia, and it was in the Society Hill section of Philadelphia. So in between South Philly and downtown. And at one point, Philadelphia Sports Club, the company, opened a new location outside of the city. And a couple of salespeople who worked in the place that I had been or had been there before me, they got chosen to help open the new location. The good thing about opening a new location of a gym is that a whole bunch of people in the area automatically come and sign up for the gym because it's a new local gym, which means the salespeople don't even have to fucking be good because all you got to do is basically collect money because you got a bunch of people walking in there just buying without even asking any questions because they want to buy because there's a gym. And these salespeople were getting commission checks that were like 10, 20 times my commission check where I had to actually work to make sales because they were in a brand new place and the sales were just walking in. People were just walking in, handing over their credit card, just charge me. I want to join the gym. So sometimes when the product is good enough or the market is hot enough, you don't even have to be good at sales. Or if your marketing is good enough, you don't have to be that good at sales. I suggest you be very good at sales, but the purpose of your marketing is to make your sales easier because your marketing should be bringing in ideal people who are already warmed up and interested and pretty much just need a nudge across the threshold to buy. That's what your marketing should do. Now, if your sales process has been grinding and very difficult with your prospects, it's probably because your marketing is attracting the wrong type of people and or it is not properly pre-framing your prospects to know what they're going to get when it's time to buy. So it's a hard and arduous process for your salespeople because your marketing is not doing its proper job. Good news is all of this is fixable. And inside of Work on Your Game University, I will help you fix all of this stuff and get it in the proper order. I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. So I'm mentioning sales last, but again, it is right up there with marketing. The marketing sets up your selling. So you don't have any money coming in, i.e. someone making sales, you don't have a business. There's no money coming in, you don't have a business. So the rainmaker is the person who makes the money come in. All right, simple as that. Some people just call this person the salesperson. If you do a lot of sales, you usually get called a rainmaker. So understand their role is money generation. All right, whatever words you want to use. Their role is to generate the money, meaning getting the prospects to become a client or a customer by paying money. That's your job. If no money's being generated, again, no bills can be paid for the business. The staff cannot be paid. You can't pay yourself, and you won't be in business for long. So I would suggest that you, business owner, you dominate this role right here and the marketer role. I suggest you take both roles on. You need to be the marketer and the salesperson in your business, and these should be the last things that you pass off to anyone else in your business. If you pass other things off, pass off everything else before you pass off the marketing and the selling. These are the 2 essential pieces of your business, which means if you hold on to anything in the business, it needs to be these 2 positions. So if you're someone who doesn't really like dealing with people on a consistent basis, you can get someone else to do the interfacing. But the relationships with the customers and the money are things that you should never give up until or unless you're ready to sell your business or hand it off to someone else to run the whole of the business, every day-to-day operation. If you're not going to do that anymore, then hand it off to someone and they can take over all of it. But while you're still in your business, you need to be the marketer. You need to be the salesperson. All right. Everything else, somebody else can do. But the marketing and the sales, that's you now and forever. All that said, let's recap today's class. There's 3 roles that must be fulfilled in every business. Again, anyone running a business, thinking about starting a business, understand these roles that I explain here today. Every business must have them fulfilled. You look around at businesses, you're going to notice that they all do. Number 1 is the marketer. Job of the marketer is to build and cultivate relationships with the general public, and more specifically with potential customers, and even more specifically with current and past customers. Marketing is how you bring in the next wave of prospects, whether they be repeat customers or brand new people. And if you're not doing any marketing, you have no ability to sell. Number two, interface slash communications. Part of your marketing is also the interface and communications with the people. Also applies to how you deal with prospects, customers, tire kickers, and everybody else. And you want someone who is good with people, who's congenial, who likes engaging with other humans to be in this role. Because if someone is not those things and they're in this role, it could be hurting your business in ways that you're not even aware, just simply because of the poor people skills of whoever is doing your interfacing. So if you're a business owner and you don't really like interfacing with human beings that much, get someone in front of you who does like interfacing with human beings and let them represent the company. Let them represent the company to the customers instead of you doing it, because you may be hurting your chances of making money. And if you have someone already interfacing, you better check on what they're doing. If they have a bad attitude, they're actually hurting your business, not helping you. Number three, the salesperson slash rainmaker. Okay, I'm mentioning this last, but it's right up there with the marketer. Again, you can't sell anything until you get the marketing right. But if you're not selling anything, then the marketing doesn't matter either. So they go hand in hand. So rainmaker is simply the person who makes the money come in. Their job is money generation. You're not bringing in money. You can't pay your bills, can't pay your staff, can't pay yourself, and you're probably not going to be in business for long. So these are two essential pieces: the marketing and the sales. Never pass these off to anyone else while you're still in your business. Only pass these off as a last resort when it's time for you to leave the business and get completely out of it all the way. If you're in it, sales and marketing are the last two jobs you should be holding on to. All right, don't do any other job you're not doing the selling and the marketing in your business. All that said, folks, workonyourgameuniversity.com. You want to learn how to put this stuff to work for yourself and in your business and in your space, or maybe you're trying to start your business right now, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Get me as your coach, and let's take it from there. Work on your game. Dre, all